Good evening. This is Joseph. We're going to be discussing wrestling tonight. Oh, fuck. Yes, I can edit it out. Yes, I know. Okay.
The moment you start acting like you're in front of a camera is when it gets to you.
Right.
So you have to have the conversation like we're having a conversation.
I'm having a conversation. I'm chatting with somebody online. Welcome to our show. My name is Joe. We're going to be talking about NXT Takeover from January 27th of 2018. I've been a wrestling fan pretty much all my life. I've been a fan since I think like the AWA in the late 70s. This is my guest. He is my roommate, Matt.
Hi, how you doing? I'm also a fan of wrestling. Kind of come and go because of how the wrestling world works. You know, basically all the scripted events. But it's still very entertaining to watch. And the blood is still real.
And the pain is also still real. Like we found out tonight.
Absolutely.
Very painful. So we had some pretty awesome matches. Some were kind of average, kind of happened. Some of them, because that last match was so long, some of the details are kind of iffy. But the first tag team match between Authors of Pain and the Undisputed Era. I'm kind of new to the Undisputed Era. I think one of them used to be in a tag team with Bobby Roode back when they were in Impact Wrestling. I don't really seen that. I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, I don't know too much of either of those teams.
Right.
I mean, again, NXT is really, I'm a virgin, right? It just, I've only watched a few shows.
Right. Well, we've watched some of the takeovers, and I think you've seen a couple of the regular shows. But for the most part, yeah.
A few matches here and there, what I see on YouTube.
Right.
You know, I really stick to the plain, I guess the mundane WWE or Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
Those are the ones that are.
Well, it's because it's easy accessible.
Yeah.
And yeah. But yeah, it was a good match. Undisputed Era put on a good show. They started off, looks like, Akeem, which I guess is one of the Rock's cousins.
Well, they focused on his knee, right?
Right. So yeah, they kind of went off. I guess they were trying to start the offense, and then they kind of focused on his left knee.
Yeah, I would say it was no. Wait a minute, it was his right knee.
We got a 50-50.
When he was lying down on the ground, I'm just picturing him in the position he was. It was the right knee.
Right. Yeah.
And any which way you want to go about it, if it got them the victory, it was still the right knee to do.
Right.
Nah, I just had to throw that in there.
Right. For the most part, yeah, it was a decent match. Paul Ellery, I think that's his name, the manager, classic manager, Legion of Doom's manager back in the day.
Doesn't compare to some of the older managers.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Well, but there's been a few. I mean, Mouth of the South, right? Or you've got who was that guy that ran with Iron Sheik and
Blassie, Freddie Blassie.
Yeah.
According to his biography, stabbed like 7 times by fans.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the day, wrestling fans took it.
Well, hey, pick a sport where fans don't take it seriously. How many riots? How many riots?
Running into the ring and trying to stab one of the competitors is a little excessive.
Well, of course. Trying to stab anyone is excessive for any means. Seriously.
So what do you think of the two tag teams? Do you think either of them are going to be seeing WWE main roster soon? Do you think we might see maybe Authors of Pain in the Royal Rumble tomorrow night?
I think that would actually be a good bet to see them in the Royal Rumble. Honestly, they put on a good show. But then again, if they really want to go with it, that injury, if it's anything real, because they had Akeem limping up the ramp.
Right.
Maybe not. Or maybe you'll see his partner enter the Royal Rumble, and then we'll later see Akeem come back.
Because when them losing the belts tonight, or not losing the belts because they weren't champions to start with the match, but them not getting the belts back reminds me of Bayley when she lost the belt to Asuka.
Okay.
Tried to get it back, lost, and then almost immediately, within a little time, she's on the main roster.
Right.
So they had their chance to challenge to get it back, and maybe we might be seeing them.
Did they kind of do the same thing between Bayley and
Asuka?
No, not Asuka, but between Bayley and I'm so horrible with names.
Nia Jax?
Not Nia Jax. The Boss.
No. They had 2 matches, yes, with them. So but Sasha Banks was already in the main roster, but she was doing double duty.
But she was in NXT, and when she was champion of NXT, then Bayley came on. Wasn't it Bayley taking over for Sasha?
Bayley won it, but Sasha was already on Raw. She came back for the next NXT Takeover for the Iron Man match. That was the Respect one, and that's when she kept the belt, and then Sasha Banks continued on Raw.
Exactly. Okay, I remember those.
Okay.
Some of those parts.
Right.
Sorry, Swiss cheese for memory. All that acid back in the 60s.
Right. All that LDS. Right.
Latter-day Saints.
Yeah. Star Trek. Okay. Well, the second. I got the name wrong. What was his first name again?
It was Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream. I think I called him Valentine Dream earlier.
Yeah.
As we were just discussing this against Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, and he looked like, Velveteen Dream actually looks like he can hold his own just in a boxing match.
Yeah, I mean, he had footwork, and they're even mentioning it that he was kind of...
he's probably an amateur. I don't think he would ever hold his own against, the real boxers, but as far as...
They get like 6 months of training, so whatever.
Right, but he's not going to be boxing for this. He's going to be throwing people against the ropes, tossing them to the ground, picking them up. But
they were mentioning that he had similar type footwork as a Muhammad.
Right.
So he was kind of an homage.
He had some training in a ring, or with gloves on and punching people. So
we had can't remember any specific spots. The Death Valley Driver leading into the Purple Rainmaker, which
Purple Rain.
Yeah, well, Purple Rainmaker, whatever that is. I honestly don't remember that. I mean, that was obviously near the end of the match, and I remember him pinning him.
The moves are all the same. It's just the name that gets changed.
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends on who does it. Like the Tombstone Pile Driver or just a Pile Driver.
It was entertaining to some degree, but, I mean, honestly, the whole fight through itself, I'd say maybe 1.5, 2 stars. It's entertaining for the quality of what it is, but really it was just to get it out of the way, or really it was filler before the main event.
Right. Well, that wasn't even the main event. That's the second match.
Right.
Then we have the women's championship match, the Ember Moon versus...
That was a good fight.
What was her name again?
Her name was Shayna Baszler.
She looks like she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, either SmackDown or Raw.
Well,
Ronda Rousey versus her, possibly in a championship match in the future.
She's an unfamiliar name to me. I mean, I have a lot more practical experience with MMA, especially UFC. I mean, you go through a couple of other names at me, and I probably won't recognize all of them. Strikeforce and a few others, but for the most part, UFC. She never made that roster, so I don't know if she has any talent. Dana White, he knows to pick the good.
Right. Well, I don't watch UFC. UFC. I almost said NFC. I don't watch the NFC either. So I'm not as familiar with that. But at least what we've seen, I mean, I guess it seems like possible Ronda Rousey signed with WWE. We might be seeing her tomorrow night in the women's.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of wrestlers coming in. Look at the new Riot.
Riot Squad?
Yeah. And then, literally with the trios showing up in both SmackDown and on Raw.
That seems to be the thing.
You've got they have another girl. It looks similar to Ruby Riot, and yet at the same time, you can see just in their stance, their style, the way they hold themselves, that these are former martial arts, MMA trained fighters. They know how to kill people.
Right. So that match, the women's tag team match, the championship match, started with a suicide dive to outside the the ring to hit Baszler, whatever. And then eventually we got into a point where she's standing on her hand and then just stomps on the arm, on the elbow.
Oh, wicked painful. I honestly just imagined that happening to me. And it's one of the worst things I could possibly.
The only thing I could think of when I saw it was that could have gone so wrong so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I would see she'd be able to.
I would not have been shocked if that arm broke.
Yeah.
It just looked wicked.
Yeah. Through the match, through most of it, I was actually beginning to think that Ember might be dropping the belt to her, and then she'd be going off to
Well, I still believe that Ember Moon may actually show up in.
Yeah, well, just because they're showing up doesn't necessarily mean they move to the roster. They might
Exactly.
Just be
it might just be for the pick up a little bit more fame, right? Draw more attention to NXT. Hey, look, this woman came into the Royal Rumble and kicked ass, right? But you can only find her on NXT.
Right. Well, the exchange.
Fans go where fans go.
Right. Well, the exchange where she does the Eclipse, where she couldn't really capitalize on it because of the elbow injury, and then she's put into an armbar. With if that elbow is as bad as it looked, then it's going to be painful. But she's able to reverse it and pin her, and then eventually win the match.
Right. No,
which was impressive.
That match actually, I would put it more of a 4-star rating. It wasn't the best of the best. Maybe not. Man, it was a 3 star. I mean, let's be fair, because there's going to be matches that were better.
Right.
Like the finale, which we'll get into a little bit later, but was pretty good. Or 3 stars. 3 stars.
So you're saying it's about average. It's a C student.
It wouldn't pass a grade, no.
No, C is still passing.
C is passing.
You're not going to be putting that on the refrigerator at your parents' house, but yeah.
Well, maybe for a week. Just to keep the child happy.
Just to keep the child happy, right. So what do we think about Alistair? Alistair, is that right?
I like that fight. I mean, I'm new to both the people that were in the ring for that fight, but Aleister Black, obvious MMA background, again, the way he's throwing those roundhouse kicks,
right.
There's definitely some talent there. Whether or not he can hold his own in, say, UFC, which I sincerely doubt.
He seems like a good striker from what I was able to read, according to Wiki, that he's got some genuine martial arts skills.
Right. No, and on this match, again, I would actually rate this better than the women's championship match. It was good.
It wasn't even a championship match. It was just a rivalry match between a couple of guys.
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed that. Right.
So,
and then, of course, to have the towards the end when Killian Dane and all of the other members of Insanity, or no, it's just Sanity, and then
Sanity, right.
What it was the people that backed up.
We got Sanity was.
Well, who was Alistair's?
Yeah.
Adam Cole. So he's got
Cole had the tag team champions, which is Undisputed Era. So they came out to the ring first, and then eventually, Sanity came out to help out,
save the day.
So we seem like
allowing Alistair to be able to basically take his or continue with his reign.
Right. I don't know. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Baron Corbin, but with a little more martial arts and less boxing.
I actually had a different image in mind. I was thinking a thicker Conor McGregor. Maybe not as stylish as Conor McGregor. Obviously, one of the best strikers out there today. But Alistair showed his own. He's got some strengths and definitely agile. A few of the moves that he pulled during the match itself was just kind of impressive with how a man that size can jump that high.
Right. And he's clearly not like a bodybuilder. He doesn't look like he's trained himself to look
I think he's more into his ink than his weights.
Yeah, or just hitting people in the face. Which leads me to not necessarily hitting the face, but remember when they use those two chairs in the middle of the ring and he hits them.
Oh my God, wicked.
The back on those 2 chairs. I mean, if it were 1 chair, I'm sure it would probably been worse.
For a man with back issues, I would never. If somebody said, "Hey, we're going to pay you $1 million to do that stuff," no.
Bounce right off of it, and I think if it were 1 chair, probably more impactful because you have that edge where they kind of spread it between 2 edges.
Right.
I don't know, but either way, it looked like another one of those things that could have gone wrong so quickly.
Oh yeah, I was actually kind of hoping to see. Was that the one with the kendo sticks?
Yeah, they brought out.
I wanted to see swordplay.
Yeah.
Right, but the move he did when he chased Adam out of the ring. Right. When he jumped back, did the back somersault, landed and sat down.
Right.
It was like perfectly squared in a ring. That was amazing.
Another
that's
when
something I never saw in the day.
When he put Adam Cole into through the table, that looked like that could hurt his back too. Maybe a little bit lower, but it was spread out throughout his back. But
as I recall, Alistair went through both of those tables.
Did he?
Yeah.
But the chair was a lower guy.
No, because he was up on the top of the ring, and then he got kicked. But with
no,
chair.
That's the tables outside of the ring. This is the announcer's table.
Oh yeah, well that's different.
Right on the edge. Right
yeah,
on the edge.
That was pretty looking.
Yeah, that looked pretty bad. I mean, we saw the replay; it didn't look as bad.
The lower back really looked like it was affected in the real play. Like when you're watching it live, it's like oh shit. But then of course, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I found the match very interesting. I would again probably 3.5, 4 star. It's you got to kind of just remember there's going to be other matches out there that are just that much better.
Right.
But it showed that they both had the heart to stay in there and do the deed fight. And obviously Alistair got to keep his.
Well, he got the win. So he got the win. So it's not a championship win, but it could lead towards maybe a future NXT championship.
Absolutely.
Or maybe he's going to be another guy. We'll see.
I'd actually like to see Aleister Black come over to the main roster. Right. And it's you know what? I don't see any reason why not.
Right.
Wasn't he already a champion of NXT?
No, he was. Not that I'll admit, I watched a little bit more than you, but not as frequently as like maybe a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was when like Finn Balor and that big like almost exodus from NXT over to the main roster kind of happened.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really what I just said, but it seemed like a lot of them left all at once, or with a short period.
Yeah, I seem to recall that happening as well. A lot of people.
And for a reason, I wasn't not liking it. I did stop watching because I didn't like it. It just didn't become part of my weekly routine. So some of these things, I don't think he was. I know Drew McIntyre was champion for a little bit. He beat Bobby Roode. And then he had for a little bit, and then he got beat by the current champion. Not the current champion. Oh, was it? Did we write CM? So it'd be a match I'm missing in here. No, I think we did cover it. Wait a minute. Oh, no. That is the last match. That is the championship match. Okay. Where are we at again?
Huh?
Where are we at again? What was the last thing I said?
Aleister Black?
Yeah, we're going into the championship match.
Oh.
Johnny Gargano versus... What was that guy's name again?
I have no clue.
Oh, yeah, I know where I was going at. I was going at... he lost it. Drew McIntyre lost it to him. He still has the belt now. That's what it is. They don't have it on WWE's website. Well, let's get into that match now. So that was a long match. A lot longer than I was expecting. That's about the half-hour mark.
The back and forth was amazing. Honestly, that, to me, was the fight of the night. In many ways, a fight of the decade. It was honestly a great fight watching the exchanges when Gargano pulled the switch around being thrown against the ropes. He basically held on and then slung him, or was managed to be able to turn himself around, spring off, and then spear his opponent. And to me, I'd never seen that before. Right. Signature move. But later on in the match, when he tried it again, he had the ladders he got the ladders turned on him, and it was a little bit different. But still, I'd like to see the use of something like that a little bit more.
I think I've seen something similar to that, but it reminds me of like a reverse suicide dive. Instead of bouncing off the outside, the back ropes, and then diving through it, you're going from the outside, spring yourself in, and that was a pretty cool move. I like that a lot too.
I really think he basically turned himself into an arrow, and the ropes was the bow.
Right. Yeah, and Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, the matches I've seen of him, he's done a really good job. He's been very entertaining. I really believe I buy into the idea of the drama within the ropes in his matches.
I could see a push over to 205 Live. Maybe see Gargano show up in the Rumble tomorrow, and then Tuesday we'll see him on maybe come out on SmackDown, and then again Tuesday night on 205 Live.
Right. And then maybe he'll be the next NXT, or not NXT. He'll be the next
Enzo's replacement.
Yeah. Whatever's going on with that. But yeah, I mean, that was a lot longer. That was almost an Iron Man match, other than it was just your regular best of two falls.
Absolutely. In the few Iron Man matches that I've seen, this one was really, it's very close. I mean, just the only difference, not counting how many different pinfalls.
It was like 45 minutes longish or something
like that. Oh, it was longer than that. I want to say 50 minutes. We didn't
okay.
actually pull out the timer, but yeah.
Yeah, it was started around 6:45, and I think it was like almost, it was like 8:30.
It was 8:30.
No, 7:30, almost 7.
Yeah, wait a minute, no. What time is it now? It is
9:55.
9:55, and you sat here, or you worked on this for about an hour. So yeah, about 7:30 is when it opened.
Yeah, we were in there cooking our dinner. Yeah, and it's so far. If you get a chance, if you have NXT, not NXT, if you have a WWE Network,
if not, get it. $9.99.
Well, not even that. I'm not plugging WWE Network. I'm just saying, if you get a chance to watch his matches, they're entertaining. The matches he had with his former tag team partner, which showed up at the end of the show, were good. Like when they were competing for the Cruiserweight Classic. Is that 2 years ago? Yeah, it was.
I didn't pay enough attention. I was probably distracted by a video game.
And even when the two of them were having their matches with the Revival, those are good matches. I mean, a lot of back and forth, but those are past. If you get a chance, I'd definitely recommend watching those. It was a good match. He unfortunately didn't win, but does that mean he might be? I mean,
I actually, honestly, I mean, if Ember Moon's injuries are real, she's not coming over to the
right.
But you might actually see Shayna Baszler, right? She just especially if we see Ronda Rousey show up and make an appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking for at 30 people, and so far only 18 have been filled.
Right.
So we've got 12 spots. Who are these mystery ladies?
Right.
That's the question that's on my mind.
Potential classics. I mean, who doesn't want Lita to come back? Who doesn't want Beth Phoenix? I like Beth Phoenix. I think she's cool. She was at NXT Takeover tonight, and she's pretty awesome. So I think she'd be fun to see.
She was at the event?
Yeah, she was one of the commentators.
Does she live anywhere? Where was the event? Maybe
Philadelphia. I think they live in Arizona. She and her. She's married to.
If she happens to be in the area.
Well, she was at NXT, so she'll probably be at Raw or not Raw.
I would expect a green light. I would expect a green light. Maybe it's not a full-blooded return, but maybe it's just a one-up. Hey, let me get back into the see. If this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
I'd like to see Lita come back, but not with her neck injuries. That's just too much of a risk.
I'm unfortunately not familiar with many of the divas. Only the new era. It's been a little bit away.
We saw a match earlier with Lita. And
no, it was nice.
Trish and Jazz.
Yeah,
that was a good match. So it's a pretty cool match. They're definitely entertaining. Lita and Trish has always had good matches. But yeah, tonight was a good show. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's show. The Royal Rumble typically is one of the more entertaining pay-per-views just because of the unpredictability. I know they say that a lot on the show, which I think is part of their.
My prediction: Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is going to win. Probably win the Royal WrestleMania. Beat Brock Lesnar.
Roman Reigns takes the win. Brock Lesnar for the win. Roman Reigns wins the overall at WrestleMania. But
when he wins the Royal Rumble, he then gets into WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar.
But they could always throw another twist in there. They like doing these twists,
right?
And maybe they'll throw somebody else in there at the same time. So
we don't
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and
we don't have anybody with the Money in the Bank contract right now. So we don't have anybody with the Money in the Bank contract. So it's not like anybody, unless they have another pay-per-view where there's a Money in the Bank contract match.
Right.
Then maybe someone might pull a Seth Rollins.
Right.
So that'd be cool. I mean, better. That's in a few months. That's in April. So right now we're going to be focusing on Royal Rumble. I think it's going to be cool. I mean, I usually go into these shows pretty optimistic. The matches look like they have set up for tomorrow night's show should be all right. But I think in most cases when they put matches together, they should be good. But whatever.
Right. Well,
semantics, whatever.
Let's look forward to a great Rumble tomorrow.
Let's go to that. Let's do that. All right. So, any other thoughts in mind that you want to discuss over tonight's show or tomorrow night's show?
Not right now, other than, I have this strong urge to go and watch some wrestling, and that'd be tomorrow. Okay. So, thanks all for, catching us on our little video here, and you have a great night.
And please, if you like the show, the routine, like and share, and have a
subscribe.
Great night. Good night.